So recently, the city of Atlanta has stated that they will no longer require the Atlanta Police Department to respond to car accidents and trucking accidents if there are no injuries reported. Well, I'm going to explain why this is extremely problematic and break this down in this video. My advice would be, because again, this is a crazy policy, it's going to have long-reaching effects, is that if you are in an accident and you feel any pain whatsoever, even if it's just a twinge, then you need to report that to the 911 dispatcher so that an officer comes to the scene and does a police report and does an investigation. Because if you do not, what we are going to see from insurance companies is an abundance of denial of claims. People really believe when they see these commercials from Allstate and State Farm that the insurance company is your friend and that they are on your side. Well, they aren't. If they can take any position, any piece of evidence and use it against you to deny your claim or pay you less, they will. And so what the Atlanta Police Department is doing and the city of Atlanta is doing is they are giving them ample opportunity to basically screw a lot of people over. The vast majority of the cases that we handle, actually, when we get that police report, our client doesn't feel pain at the scene. Their adrenaline is rushing. They feel okay, they don't feel anything. But then when they get home is when they have the pain. And we've had clients who've had no pain at the scene and ended up having surgery. So here's some more practical considerations that if you don't report your injury and if the insurance company denies the claim, this is what's going to happen next. Is you're not going to be able to get your car fixed through the at-fault driver's insurance company. You're not going to be able to get compensation for your bodily injuries, and you're going to have to go through your own insurance company, which means you're going to have to pay a deductible. Another reason this is such a big deal is that if an officer doesn't come to the scene, well, then that means no citations are going to be given. That's one of the first things the insurance company looks at. And here's another thing, is that people lie all of the time. We see it all of the time where they are admitting fault at the scene, but then we get into litigation and we're taking depositions and they're saying, oh, I didn't do that. That wasn't my fault. That was your client's fault. We're going to see a lot of that he say, she say, he say discussions going on, and the insurance company is going to pounce on that because no citations were given, and they're going to deny all liability for property damage and for your bodily injuries. So here's what you should do if you're in an accident, you don't have injuries, and the police officer does not come to the scene. You should get all of the other drivers' information, take a picture of their license plate, take pictures of the damage to both vehicles. And if you can, I would try to take pictures of the way the vehicles were situated as well before the other driver has an opportunity to move that vehicle, if you can. See if you can get an admission out of the other driver on video or something in writing in a text, getting them to admit that they were at fault for that accident as well. If there are any witnesses, take a video of them as well. Try to get a statement from them, because you're going to need, again, all of the evidence that you can to convince the insurance company to do the right thing, because they don't want to do the right thing. I can promise you that. So let me end with the last reason why this is such a problematic policy, because there are going to be a lot of DUI and DWI drivers that get away with crimes. Let's say you're coming home late on a Friday night, you're in an accident, you think the person is drunk, you don't have injuries, so they don't send an officer to the scene. So they don't do field testing, they don't do a sobriety test, and here it is, a person who is driving under the influence of something who gets a free pass because law enforcement doesn't come to the scene. I really think this is a bad policy. I think the city should rethink it, and I think they should practice social distancing if the officers come to the scene, and the officers should wear masks. But this is not in the best interest of the public. I don't think it's a safe policy. It doesn't promote safety on the roads as well, and I think it's going to backfire. So I really hope that they rethink this policy.